my name is Tom Wright, international magician, and this is Top Secret Magic. Thank you so much for purchasing this. You won't regret it. Now, if you haven't opened up your package, please open the package now and tip out all the tricks onto the table. Be very careful, and let's see what you should get. In fact, let's have a look what you've got right now. Okay, so now you know what should be inside of your package. Now, the first trick that me and you are gonna learn is gonna be this one. This is a killer, it's super easy, and it's super impressive. So I want you to open up your package now, and you can open it up, and you can take it out, all right? Don't do anything yet. In fact, first of all, I'm gonna show you performance that I actually did for a video not so long ago, so I'm going to switch to that now so you can see what happens, and then we're going to come back and I'm going to teach you everything you need to know. So let's take a look at that performance now. So this is it. This is one you could do. So watch, pay attention. I've got a pack of cards, and this has got a sort of a fancy case. Now inside of here I've got 52 cards, 52, but at the top there's just one card. One top resting right there, and I bet you that you are going to say this card. Why? Because everyone always does. Think of a card right now. There's clubs, hearts, spades, diamonds, ace all the way through to king. Now what I will say is a lot of people think of the ace of spades or the queen of hearts. There's probably some people watching this right now who were literally thinking of those two cards, so it might be a good idea if you change your mind. However, if you want, you can keep them and double bluff. So one card, think of a card right now. 3, 2, 1. The card that you are thinking of just happens to be the 7 of hearts. Now obviously, there's some people watching this who are absolutely gobsmacked because they were thinking of the 7 of hearts. But there's probably a lot of you who didn't pick the 7 of hearts and probably thinking that was the worst trick I've ever seen. Well, to be honest, even if you got it right or you got it wrong, it doesn't matter because the card doesn't exist anyway. I am literally holding nothing in my hands. I mean, there are no cards. There isn't even a box. I know, I'm losing you, look. It doesn't matter if I place that card in here. There are no cards. You are literally looking at nothing. Watch. Even if I place these cards inside of the box, remember, it was just a figment of your imagination because there were no cards, ever. So it doesn't matter if you got the card or you didn't get the card, there were no cards in the first place. Mind blown. Okay, so this is how you perform your vanishing deck. That's what this is called, by the way. Vanishing cards, vanishing deck. So, this is what you're gonna do. You take this out of your pocket. You say to everybody, I have a pack of cards, and I've also got a nice fancy card case. You place this down onto the table. Now, what I will just show you as well, when you take the cards out, I'll just stand back here. You're kind of pushing with your thumb. Okay, you see that? I'm just pushing with my thumb. And I'm taking this hand, this is my right hand by the way, so don't mirror it, make sure you don't mirror image. You push that forward and you're coming across with your right hand and taking the cards out. So you're in this position. So from here, it looks really realistic, and you know, you can pretty much show everything from 180 degrees, okay? But obviously they don't realize that it's completely and utterly fake, all right? So, I'll show you very quickly. Take this out. You say, I have a pack of cards. Also, push with the thumb. Okay, I also have a fancy card case. You place that down. You then open up the pack. You say, now in here, I have one card at the very top. The top of all these 52 cards. It's very important that you say 52. Even though that there is only one card at the top, you're mentally telling them that you've got a full pack of cards. So you say you've got one card at the top, which you'll notice that this top card actually comes out of the pack, okay? So that is just resting on top and it actually does come out. So there is one real card at the very top and you'll notice that it'll just easily come out there. So they've got one card at the top of the pack, you take it out, and I bet you say this card because everyone always does. You explain to them that the Ace of Spades and the Queen of Hearts are the two main cards that everyone always says. But I bet you'll say this one. On the count of three, name any card. 1, 2, 3. Now, I've got the Seven of Hearts. A lot of the time, you'll notice when you do this, it will be the Seven of Hearts. And if that does happen, if you do turn it around and it is the Seven of Cards, the card that they have named, you have got a miracle. Not only have they named the card, but you're about to vanish the cards. Now, also, a lot of the time, this won't be the card, but it doesn't matter. So, let's say they say the Two of Clubs, and you go, that's amazing. Not only is this the Two of Clubs, but it's turned into the Seven of Hearts. Now that's amazing, right? Of course, you'll get a good laugh there. And then you say, okay, joking aside, to be honest, it wouldn't matter if this is the Two of Clubs, because it would have never have worked, because I am holding nothing. All of this is inside of your mind. It's just your imagination. There is no card. There is no box. So obviously you're setting them up. You say, look, and you place the card back at the top. These cards don't exist, and you show them. You place the lid back on top, and then all you're doing is you're saying, look, there were no cards. It was just a figment of your imagination. And you place this box, you turn your card case face down like this, and you're basically all you're doing is literally just putting it back in. That is all you're doing. You're just putting it back in, and you can bring it down like this, and you can push it. Look, the cards don't exist. All you do is you push it in. You snap your fingers if you can, or wiggle your fingers, or whatever you want to do, or just simply just go blow on the box, and you turn it over really slowly. You can then just put you can maybe just put your fingers in there, or you can just turn it around and just go, look, there were no cards, okay? It was all a figment of your imagination. You can instantly show them that there are no cards, there are nothing. At this point, they will freak out because you literally just made a pack of cards disappear. And if they have named the Seven of Hearts, you've got a double miracle. Now you'll note, now what I will say is a lot of people do say the Seven of Hearts. You'll be surprised at how many people say that. But again, if they don't say the Seven of Hearts and they say something else, like the Ten of Spades, make sure you do that joke where you say that is amazing. Not only is it the Ten of Spades, but it's turned into the Seven of Hearts, and you'll get a really good laugh there. Place the box in, turn it around, it has vanished. As soon as you've made it vanish and you've shown it like this, shown it like that, if you leave it on the table, they will grab it, they will inspect it, and they will pull it, and they'll notice. So all you do is show it so it's vanished, and just casually put it back into your pocket, into your jeans pocket, trouser pocket, whatever. And then you're gonna move on to your next trick, which we're gonna have a look at right now. If you want to, what I would do is go back, watch that performance again that you just saw me do with the vanishing card case, so you can pick up all the different things of what I said. Okay, so hope you enjoyed that. Let's move on. I've been asked many times, is it possible to actually levitate? Well, maybe not levitation as in your whole body, but I do believe that you can move things with your mind on a smaller scale. In fact, let's take a look. So, levitation. Let's take something really small to start off with. Maybe something like a match, okay? And if we take a playing card, we're to watch really carefully. And this is the best way to start with your levitation, is to start something very small, something very light. If you just concentrate on that match, it starts to look like it's floating. Now, it's going to take a second. There we go. imagine, and this does take practice, making something float like this. A little bit more. A little bit more. That's it. That's it. Now I can't hold it for too long, but I'll just show you that if I take another playing card, I can't take my eyes off or I'll lose it. I can pass that through, you see, and through the other side. Now there's nothing here, nothing attached, and I'm just gonna let that go back down, go back down, go back down, and that's it. And they can have a look at the match. How's that done? So, the floating match. How is it possible? Your 2 cards, this package, so go ahead, open up, take these 2 cards out. Be very careful, because I'm going to show you the secret of the match right now. 1 card will be completely normal. However, this one, the other one, if you run your fingers along one of them very lightly, you'll notice that there's actually some invisible thread. Okay, now on the other one there won't be. And let me show you what's happening is if I just bend it like this and I put it into the black there, you can see the thread. The thread is right here running along there. You can see that. And if I was just to place this match on there, as you can see, it is floating on there. Now at the minute, you can see that thread because I've got really bright lights in this studio. In normal light, you will not see those thread. In fact, if we bring it over here, you can see that you can't really see it as much. And of course, from this angle, you can't see it at all. But you'll notice when you take it out, it is quite invisible. When you're using thread, I wouldn't do it in direct light. And what I mean by direct light is light that doesn't have like a lampshade. So like halogen lights that are in your kitchen at the top of the ceiling, that's called direct light, and the thread will show up a lot more. But if you're in the living room and you've got, you know, the room can be really bright. It can be really bright. It can even be in daylight, as long as there isn't direct light hitting the thread. All right. So let me show you exactly the workings of exactly what's going on. So I have provided a match, but I've taken the match head off just for safety reasons. But what I would say is it does look better if you do use a real match, and maybe if you're allowed, if you're under 18, just ask your parents if you can borrow a normal match from the cupboard if they have one. If not, you know, it's fine without the head. It's not a massive problem. So what I've done with your card, I have actually already pre-bent the card. Okay, now this is on purpose, and the reason why is because this is what's going to happen. You can explain about levitation that you can't levitate, but you can say that you can move small things with your mind. You have to really concentrate. In fact, let's take a match because it's super light. You take your card with the thread on it. It's already kind of pre-bent like this. The reason for that is you're going to place a match on there, and you want to be able to bend this card, and that's how it works, you see. If I bring it really close, when I bend the card, it gives the impression that it's actually floating. But what's happening is we are just bending the card. You see, that's how it works. Now, if it wasn't bent, I would struggle with this hand trying to bend it. What you want to do is, all I've got to do is release this finger right here. Because it's already pre-bent, it will start you off. Sorry, rolling off here. Okay, so as you can see, if I do this, I just relax that finger, it's already started me off. So now I can just easily bend it. And you don't want to bend it too far because You want to bend it just to about there. Okay, so if I show you all together, it's really easy. Take the match, put it in the middle. You've got your finger here, pushing it up. You can relax that finger. It will start to bend, which gives the impression that it's floating. You can bend further, 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 further down. You can then take your other card off your table. And what's cool about this, you can pass this underneath. Whatever you do, don't pass it this way, because if you pass it this way, you will then see the thread lines because it's against a white background. So make sure you turn it again on the crisscross way. You can pass it underneath like that. And this looks really cool because it does look like it's floating. And then you can bring it back out and you can show there's nothing there. And then if you want, you can just push back up with this finger. See this finger here? I'm literally just pushing the card back up like that until it reaches the top. And then I can come along with this finger and just take the match off, or I can just throw it into the hand and hand it out. Now, at this moment in time, don't be worried that maybe if they want to have a look at this card, all you do is this. You literally just give them the match, because they will want to look at this match. They will think that there's something wrong with this match. Hand them the match, and then all you do is casually just pick up the two cards. Don't rush. Just pick up the two cards, place them in your pocket, move on to the next trick. Or what you can do is you can literally just put them in your pocket and just walk away like this. That'll freak them out. So yeah, there we go. That is the floating match. Again, if you have any problems, if you've got any questions, just message me on Facebook, Tom Wright Magician. Send me a message. I'll get back to you ASAP. All right, guys, let's move on. Okay, so the next trick that we're going to perform and learn is this one. The brown envelope. Go and take the brown envelope now. And what I want you to do is, don't worry about what it might not say the two of clubs, it might say something different. I want you to take the cards outside of the envelope. You should have 3. Inside of this envelope, you'll notice that there is a piece of paper. Just leave that in there for now. In fact, let's have a look at it. So you'll have some writing on the back. It may not say the two of clubs, it may say a different card. On this paper, if you open up this piece of paper carefully, it will also say you will pick, and again, it might not say the 2 diamonds, it may say a completely different card. That's absolutely fine. Fold that back up, place it back in the envelope. Also, with the 3 cards, you'll notice that on one of them, it will say you will pick this card. Okay, again, you may not have the same cards as me, but it doesn't matter at all. Okay, so I'm going to bring the camera down. I'm going to show you the performance of this, and this trick is called 3-way out. Let's take a look. Okay, so I'm going to show you a performance of this trick, and then I'm going to go through all in explanation with you. So here I have an envelope. I also have 3 cards, 1, 2 and 3. Now I have a prediction that is here, and on that prediction I know exactly what card you're going to pick. Why? Because everyone always picks it. You will not be able to help yourself but go for this card. Now you may be thinking it's this red one, maybe because it's the odd one out, because this one's red and these ones 2 are black. Or maybe it's the 4 that's the odd one out, because we have 2 2s and only 1 4, which makes the 4 the odd one out. Or maybe you're thinking it's the 2 of clubs, because it's the only one that's not the odd one out, which makes it the odd one out. The question is, which card will you go for? In fact, what I'll do right now is I will bet you a drink that you will pick this card. Also, if you are under the age of 18, instead of betting a drink, what you could do is bet some sweets or something like this. I'll leave it up to your imagination. Now, this is such a great card trick because it doesn't matter of what card they say. You're always going to win every single time. Now let me show you exactly what I mean. For instance, if they go for the 4 of spades, you can say, are you sure? Do you want to change your mind? And it doesn't matter how many times they change their mind, you will always win. And this is why. There's a reason why it's called three-way out. It's because you have three different answers. For an example, if they go for the four of spades, you can turn this one over, there's nothing. Turn this one over, there is nothing. But when you turn this card over, it says you will pick this card, which absolutely fries their mind. They can't believe it. And then all you do is you put the cards away, put the envelope away, and you move on to the next trick. Now, if they say the two of clubs, you can say, I knew you was going to pick the two of clubs. Everyone always does. However, do you want to change your mind? And let's say they do, let's say they don't. Let's say they stick with the two of clubs and you say, I knew you was going to pick it because on the back of this envelope, I have written, you will pick the two of clubs. Again, this will fry their mind because they have no idea it says this over there. And lastly, if they say the two of diamonds, you can ask them to change their mind. If they do, they do, and if they don't, they don't. And lastly, you say, I always knew you was going to pick the two of diamonds. Everyone always does. Look, I have a piece of paper, just one. You can tip it out and you can casually open it and it will say you will choose the two of diamonds. Again, this will fry their mind. This is such a great trick. Why? Because it's super easy. You're gonna fool your friends and you possibly may get a free drink, free money, or some free sweets of however you want to play this. Do not underestimate this trick. You're gonna have so much fun. All you've got to do is remember of what card is what. You just got to remember that this one has, you will pick the card. Remember that whatever this one has is on the back of here and the red one is inside. Just remember have a look at what cards you've got. Just remember which ones are where and you are set to go. This is how I would always start it. I would put the cards on top, possibly the red one on the top, the four on the bottom or whatever card you have, and place them inside of the envelope, but I would leave them halfway out. There's a reason for that, because if they're in and you go to take the cards out, there is a possibility that piece of paper may follow, or maybe it might get trapped among the cards. So what I would suggest is this. The way to set it up is to put your cards in there first of all, then take the piece of paper and put it behind and drop it and make sure it drops all the way to the bottom. Or you can drop it all the way into the bottom first and then put the cards in, but just make sure that it's not trapping on the piece of paper and leave the cards halfway up. And that way, when you take the cards out, you can actually I can feel the piece of paper, it's right here. So when I take them out, I can hold on to the piece of paper inside and take the cards out, leaving the piece of paper inside there, and then I can lay the cards out and move on to the trick. Hope you have fun with this. I want you to stop the recording and go practice this, and then hopefully maybe try it on one of your friends or your family. But make sure you practice until you get it right. Thank you very much. Let's move on to the next trick. Okay, so I hope that you're having fun so far with both of those tricks that I've taught you. I hope that you have stopped the video and that you are practicing. Make sure you do practice before you show anyone the trick, because what you don't want to do is get it wrong and then you be diffused and not want to perform anymore. So make sure you do practice, okay? So we're going to move on and we're going to perform this. This is such a great trick, and it's called the Ultimate Penetration Plus. Before I show you, do not open it up yet. I don't want to break anything. First of all, we are going to take a look at a quick performance. Again, this is a quick performance I did not so long ago, so we're going to take a look at that now, and then we're going to get straight into how you actually do this. All right, so let's take a look. I'll even teach you how to put a pen all the way through someone's £20 note. Now obviously that doesn't sound like magic, but let me show you, look. So you actually borrow someone's note, it could be 25, 10, whatever. you give them a pen, they sign it, okay? And this is what you can do. So it's a bit of a practical joke, but I'll show you what you do. So this is inside the secret box. So you take the pen, take the £20 note, and then what you do is you just find a sweet spot, probably around about here, and you take the pen and you pretend to stab it through, okay? So you just go, and it's basically, it's annoying shit. So you go 3, 2, 1, ha! Like that. Right, no, we do it a little bit harder. 3, 2, 1. Like that. Yeah, okay, so I did actually, I kind of did put it through the note. That wasn't supposed to happen, but don't worry, I can get out of this. So yeah, it's totally gone. I mean, you can probably still spend it. I mean, it's only got a hole in it, right? So, but don't worry. I mean, I think I can sort of, I can just maybe kind of watch 3, 2, 1. Oh, everything's so fine. So yeah, and then you hand it back to them, and they can examine the pen, and everything is back to normal. Think about that one. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that performance of the pen going through the notes. I'm going to show you exactly how it works. So, first of all, I'm going to allow you now to open up your package. Go ahead, open it up, take the pen out, and you should have the pen in your hands right now. So, this is how it works. Be very careful. All we do is hold the pen like this, take this lid off. You'll notice that there is another end. I know that's still confusing, and this is what it is. You see, this is actually magnetic. That's the secret. It's magnets, okay? Now I'm going to show you exactly how this works, because you're probably still confused if you're not quite sure of how you get into it. So, what I want you to do, take the lid, put it onto the normal side. That's all I want you to do. Put the lid onto the normal side. In fact, maybe just watch this first, then go back and follow me. So just watch this just for now. So this is what I'm doing. I'm actually taking the magnetic end, okay, and holding it in my hand just between, and don't mind my bad finger, I trapped it. And I just hold the magnetic end in my fingers, just there, between these three fingers. 1, 2, 3. The pinky finger there, and I'm just holding it in that crib, like that. That's all I'm doing. And you start off by taking out a pen, like this. Now don't worry, they'll never know that there's anything there. You can even place this onto the table, and you can just have your arms crossed if you're worried about that people may suspect that there's something in your hand. A good little tip, if you hold something in your hand, they will never suspect that there is anything else. If you look at the difference, if I hold it in this hand, then they know that this hand is closed. The brain automatically thinks that there must be something in there. However, if I transfer it, that goes, you see? Because I'm holding something even though I have the gimmick right here. It's just a little tip. Okay, so you need to borrow a note. It could be £5 note, £10 note, 20, 50, it could be anything. Today I've got a 50 and it's paper. It does work with plastic as well. It's a little bit more tricky, but paper, we've got paper for now. So this is what you're gonna do. Take the note, give them the pen, ask them to sign and place their name onto that £50 note, £20 note, £10 note. The plastic ones also do work. So they will take the lid off. They, the spectator, will write their name. Even if they can't write their name, just put a little scribble. So let's say we'll just put a little scribble on there, just so you know that it is your note. You then take the pen back, and you can also leave the pen lid off. Leave the pen lid off on the table. Just take, you take the pen, take the lid, put the lid on, and ask them, okay, as you put the lid on here, this is the normal side, you've still got the gimmick in your hand. So you take the pen off them after they've scribble the name on the note, you put the lid back on and you say, just make sure it is a normal note. Now that might not make sense because obviously of course it's a normal note because it's theirs, but they won't think of it, they'll just have a look at it. You can say also you can even say, just make sure there's no holes or tears in that note. And the reason why you're doing that is because what you're going to secretly do is just attach that to there. And it's really easy. You just put the lid on and then you just bring this to that and it will automatically connect itself, and then you can just relax then and you can now hold it like a normal pen. Okay, because what they'll be doing is they'll be looking at this note to make sure there's no holes, there's no tears, they'll be making sure it's all normal. So we'll do that again, just to go over it very quickly. So you have this in your hand, you take the pen out, you borrow the note, you give them the pen, you take the lid off, you can hold onto the lid, give them the pen, they scribble on it, you take the pen back, you take the lid, you've still got it in your hand, you put it on there and you say, just make sure there's no holes or slits inside of your note. And I've attached it, now the magnet is on there, and then while they'll be looking at the note and you're ready to go. That's the first stage, so just practice that, okay? So now we're going to go through how it actually works. I'm going to go very quickly and then I'm going to go into a little bit more detail. So what I'm actually doing is this. This is the magnetic end here, okay? I am placing it behind the note. I'll come really a lot closer. I'm taking it and I'm placing it behind and then actually leaving it behind like this, okay? So it's actually behind the note, all right? And then, so what I'm doing is, I'll show you one more time. I take the note and I take the pen and I say, you can see your signature here, can't you? And they'll say yes. And all I'm doing behind the note is this. I'll show you what I'm doing. So behind the note, I'm doing this. That is all I'm doing. I'm just taking that away from there, okay? So if I show you in real time, you got the pen, you place the pen behind the note. You then take it away like this. I'll show you the exposed view. I'm just doing this. That's all I'm doing. Placing the pen behind the note, holding it, and taking it away. All right, so it looks like this. So what you're actually doing, oh, knocking the camera there. So what we are actually doing is we're taking it away, because what we're going to do is we're going to pretend to put it through. And all I'm doing is hitting my hand here. The magnetic pen is right there. That's where it is. All right, but we'll put that back. And now all I'm doing is I'm hitting my hand just here with the pen. I'm just doing this. That's all I'm doing, okay? So if I put that back in its place, okay, so we're in that position. So it looks like this, like that, and you make that sound, listen. See, I'm making that sound, but I'm not hitting the gimmick. The gimmick is here, okay? I'm hitting this part of the hand and not the gimmick, all right? So you just go 3, 2, 1, like that, or you can do it again. That's better. And all you do is you just casually let it connect, like that. That's all you do, you let it connect, okay? Like that. And then I just bring this part down and fold it just a little bit. And then you get into this position. Okay, so this looks really realistic at this point, all right? So I'm gonna show you that one more time, all right? So that's what you've got. So we'll do it one more time, just so you can be sure. 1, 2, you can see your signature here. I've stolen off the gimmick. We're going to pretend to stab it. 1, 2, 3, like that. Relax, let it connect. It is now connected. Fold this down, and then all you're doing is you're making out that you've gone wrong. And you're going, oh no, and you can look a bit shocked. And I wouldn't show them this yet. I think that can be sometimes a little bit too obvious. So you are going to show this, but you're going to do it in more of a quick flash. So hold it like that, and you're going, oh, yeah, I think I've done it wrong. and then you say, don't worry, it's only a hole, I think you can still spend it. I'll just see if I can rip it out. And what you're going to do is this. You're not going to pull it, because this magnetic part will fly in the carpet and you'll never find it. You're just going to pull up. I'll go really slowly, so all you're doing is this. Because it's a magnet, you can also say, you can also move it a little bit, just a little bit, don't move it too much. But this is good because you can see that it is actually going through. But just move it slowly and not very much, just a little bit, because you don't want the magnetic end to fly off. So just go, oh, I think I've done it wrong. And then you can let go, and then you can show them just for a second, like that, and then the audience can really see that it's gone through. So it's, oh no, I think I've gone wrong. Yeah, I don't think I was supposed to put that through, but don't worry. And then you're going to do this. I'll do it fast now. Watch, like that, and you get that noise. So I'm going to show you one more time of what's going on there. So we've stabbed it through the note. You're in this position, okay? And I don't want you to pull it, I want you to just go up. But I want it to go in a medium speed, not too slow. You're just gonna go like this. You're just gonna pull it up and hold it quite close. Don't hold it here. Hold it a little bit closer to the middle of the pen. And you're just gonna go up like this. And the magnet will follow. 3, 2, 1. And then this is it. All you've got to do now is slowly open it and be like, oh, no way. Hand them their note back. As they're in complete awe, all you're going to do is, this is the magnetic end, you can literally just go back to where you was, take it off like that, and then just take the lid off and set it onto the table. And don't mention the pen. Don't say to them, look, it's an ordinary pen. Just don't even mention it. Take the lid off, place it on the table. Because what they will do naturally is they will naturally pick it up. After they've inspected this note, they will then pick the pen up and try to look, and they'll go, yeah, it's just a normal pen. Because this can be examined. Because to them, it is just a normal pen. Because you have the secret part. So that's it. That's how you put the pen through the note. Go back, watch it a few more times. Okay, I really hope you enjoy that one. Make sure you practice with it. When you use the plastic notes, just take your time. It is exactly the same, but just practice with the plastic ones. If you also have any problems with performing these, you can get in touch with me. Just put in Tom Wright Magician into Facebook. Make sure you give me a like, send me a message if you're having trouble, and I could maybe help you out a little bit further. So I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you practice, and let's move on to the next trick. Okay, so I hope that you're enjoying yourself so far with all the different magic tricks that you've learned and practiced. We're now going to do this one. This is probably my favourite out of them all. It is possibly one of the greatest card tricks ever to be invented. It is probably the most difficult trick in your pack. That's why I've left it towards the end. This is amazing. I'm going to show you. I'm going to go through the performance, and then I'm going to show you exactly how it's done. To sit back and relax. Let's get into it. I don't know if you know this, but everyone has a favourite card. Oh yeah, they do. Yeah. I mean, you even have a favourite card, even if you don't know you have a favourite card, and that card will never leave you, and it'll always follow you. I know you're thinking, well, he's had too many copies. Okay, look. Let me show you what I mean. Look. If I show you this, look. These cards are all different, right? They're all different. We've got lots of different cards there. 6 of hearts, 7 of clubs, 2 of spades. They're all different, right? But one of these is your favourite card. All right, let me show you what I mean. Look, if I go for the cards like this, right, you're going to shout stop. Now, obviously, you're not here, so you can't shout stop, so I'll shout stop for you, all right? But you can generally shout stop anywhere you want, and you'll see why. So look, I'll go for the cards like this, and then you just shout stop, and I'll stop. So here we go. Stop. Okay, you stop there, right? So let's have a look what the card you had. So you got the Queen of Hearts. Now, believe it or not, the Queen of Hearts is your favourite card, and I bet you didn't even know that. Oh, it is. Let me show you what I mean. If look, if we place the rest of these cards on top of the Queen of Hearts, so we'll place them all on top of there. Look, what is weird is if you tap it 3 times. Now this would be you tapping it 3 times. You go 1, 2, 3, snap your fingers, and look, the Queen of Hearts will always follow you. It sits at the top. That's weird, right? Because it was just in the middle. You see, the Queen of Hearts, your favourite card, will always follow you, and it'll always be there. I bet you never noticed that. You never noticed that when you've been playing cards and the Queen of Hearts keeps popping up all the time? You've not noticed, have you? Look, there is only one Queen of Hearts. I mean, look, they're all different, but there's only one. I haven't got loads of Queen of Hearts. There's just one. Your favourite card. All right, you don't believe me? Look, I'm going to bring the camera down. Let's take a closer look. Okay, so let me explain of how the Queen of Hearts is your favourite card. Look, I'll do it again. I know it's crazy. Look, I mean, you could have really have selected any one of these cards, right? But your card is the Queen of Hearts. Now look, if we place your card, the Queen of Hearts, on here, and we place the rest of this pack on the top, what is weird is, look, we push it in, and you tap it 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Snap your fingers, and look, the Queen of Hearts jumps all the way back to the very top. I know that's crazy, but the reason why it jumps to the top is because it's your favourite card. You see, look, you could have had any one of these. You see? No, I'll prove it one more time. I'll place a Queen of Hearts on the top, and we will cut it into the middle. Look, that there is the Queen of Hearts. We'll place the pack on top. We'll also cut it into a few piles. We'll make sure that it really gets mixed inside of that pack. Now look, I'm going to make 4 piles. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3, that's 4. Now weirdly, you know of where that Queen of Hearts is because it's your favourite card. I mean, for an example, point to the pile that you want to eliminate and we'll get rid of it. Now, in this scenario, the spectator can point to any pile. Let's say they point to this one, we get rid of it. Let's say they point to this one, we get rid of it. They point to this one, we get rid of it. All right, so you're saying that your card is in there, right? Your card could be anywhere inside of this pack, right? But you know what to do, how to find it. What did we do in the first place? We tapped it 3 times. They tap it 3 times. 1, 2, 3, and there you go. The Queen of Hearts jumps to the very top. And again, there is only one Queen of Hearts inside of here. We haven't got multiples of Queen of Hearts, all right? Now look, I'll take it one step further. Look, I'll give the cat a few more cuts and I'll prove it. I'll spread the cards and you can touch the back of any card that you desire. Now crazy. This is crazy because they can touch any card and they will find it. Now don't worry, I'm going to explain how all this trick works in a second, because I know that you're probably getting really confused of how this is working. So they can take their finger and they can just come down on any card that they desire and it'll always be in the Queen of Hearts. And I know that makes no sense because you think, well, how can it be? Because there's only one, right? But look, I'll prove it. They touch this card here. You tell them to keep their finger on it, and it doesn't matter which one it is. They keep the finger on it, and you move all these cards out of the way. And you move all these cards out of the way there. And what you say to them is, look, if you'd have gone for this one, you'd have touched the 3 of clubs. But you didn't want the 3 of clubs. You wanted this one. Or you could have gone for this one, which was right next to it. That would have been the 6 of Hearts. But what is your card? They say the Queen of Hearts, and they turn it over themselves, and voila, it's the Queen of Hearts. This is such a killer effect. There is one last phase that you can do with this trick. You can place a Queen of Hearts back on the top. Place that back in there. You can show them one more time. Now look, all the cards are genuinely different, all right? But this is the weird bit. And your card is the Queen of Hearts. But what is strange is this. I'll show you how it works. It works because they're all your favourite card. Tap it 5 times this time and see what happens. They go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you know what happens when you tap it 5 times? Weirdly, all the cards change into the Queen of Hearts. Every single one. And that is short and long. Let's go through the explanation. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that routine. And with this routine, it's also got 2 names, this trick. It's got short and long, and its other name is also called Svengali. So if you put Svengali into YouTube, you might even see some more routines that you can do with this pack of cards. So let me explain of how this actually works before we get into the routine. Yes, it is a trick pack, and I'll show you of what's happening here. It doesn't matter. First of all, you can't shuffle the cards. Do not shuffle them. However, if you do shuffle them, it's not a problem. You can put it back in its right order, and I'll explain how to do that in a second. So what's happening with this pack of cards is, if I do this first of all, I don't go along with me. Just watch the video first, then take your pack of cards out at the end. But just watch this through first so you know how to do everything. So what happens is, you can show the cards normal, okay, like this, and you can also show all the cards that they're all the queens, or Queen of Hearts. Now, you're probably thinking, hang on a minute, what's going on? How does that work? Okay, so let me show you exactly how this works. There are 52 cards in the pack. Okay, you've got 26 of these cards are the Queen of Hearts, and 26 of these cards are normal. Okay, but how does it work? How is it that you can't see all the queens? Okay, let me show you exactly the engineering of how this is working. So I'm just going to take 2 cards just to explain of how it's working. So and the reason why it's called short and long is basically the key is in the name. All of these ones, all the normal cards, are slightly longer than all the Queen of Hearts. Now also in your pack of cards, yours might not be the Queen of Hearts. Your lucky card might be something completely different. It doesn't matter. So these ones are shorter, and what's happening is all the way through the pack it goes normal, queen, normal, queen, normal, queen, normal, queen, normal, queen, normal, queen, all the way through the pack. Always starts with the normal at the very front. So if you watch, that goes that's normal, and that's a queen. And you've got a normal, then you've got a queen, normal, queen. Yeah, that's right. So, and it goes like that all the way to the end, and the queen should always be at the top. Should always have a Queen of Hearts at the top and a normal one at the bottom. And this is what's happening. As you're spreading through all the cards like this, they're dropping in pairs because your fingers can only touch the long cards, you see. So they all drop in pairs. So if we walk very slowly, if I come up really close so you can see exactly what I'm talking about, bring my hands here, they're all dropping in pairs. So if you look, that's actually, it's dropped in 4 pairs there, you see, because these fingers can only touch the top cards. And if you look really closely at the pack, like this, you can actually see you can see all the top cards, you can see all the bottom cards right there, look, right there. You see this? You see them there? So that's how it's happening. So if you do it this way, they will all be normal, and then if we reverse the deck around, obviously placing a queen on the top, and we do it this way, they will all be the Queen of Hearts. So that is how it is working. Now if you do drop the pack of cards, you shuffle them by accident, don't worry. All you do is you go through the pack and start with a normal, then go with queen. So I'll bring the cards really closely to you. So it goes normal, queen, normal, queen, normal, queen, normal, queen. I'm not going to do them all, we'll be forever, but you get the idea, and it goes all the way to the end. Normal queen, And just do that until you get to the end and you should have a queen there. If you don't have a queen there, then get rid of another one like this until you do have a queen there and a normal at the bottom. So that is how it works. Now I'm going to go through the routine step by step. As I say, this is probably the most difficult trick in the pack, but once you've mastered this, you will have one of the greatest tricks of all time. So I'm going to bring the camera back down. Oh, before we bring the camera back down, if you can't do this, what I'm doing is I'm putting my thumb at the bottom, my two middle fingers at the top, so I'm in that position, look, like this, and I'm letting them drop, and I'm letting these fingers let them drop, and I'm pushing with my index finger here, okay? Now, if you can't do that, it's not a problem. There's an easy way around it. You can grab hold of the deck and you can flick it. Like this. So you can see, look, they're all normal at the very beginning, all right? In fact, so, first of all, what you do is you explain to your spectator that everyone has a favorite card and they don't even know it, and you'll prove it. So, what you can do in this system is you've got 3 choices. Number 1, they can cut the cards, and wherever they cut, it'll always be a queen. However, a few points to know. They have to bring their hand over here. It does not work if you cut it from the side, because the short and longs are only at the top, not on the side. The good thing about that is you can instruct them. So you can hold the cards like this and say, take your hand and just cut the cards, okay? If you don't like that way, there's another way. You can do this. You can say, all the cards are all different. Just stick your finger into the pack wherever you want. And of course, wherever they put their finger in, it'll always be the queen on the bottom, okay? So you watch, do this, stick your finger in anywhere you want, and doesn't matter where they go, every time this bottom card will be the queen. And of course, there's a third way. If you don't like that way, you can dribble the cards onto the table. Imagine this is the table. You can dribble the cards onto the table and ask when you should stop, which is probably one of the easiest ones. So I dribble the cards, you shout stop, they shout stop there, and you go, are you sure? Do you want to carry on? And of course they can, because it doesn't matter, because that's the queen. Look, watch. Stop. Oh, that's the queen there. Stop. That's the queen there. Of course, let's bring the camera down to the table and let's carry this on. Okay, so like I said, it doesn't matter of where they shout stop. But let's just do this one last time. If I dribble the cards and they shout stop there. Now they can either take the card or you can pass it to them. It depends if how brave you are. They may pick up 2 cards by accident. What I would do is maybe when you're beginning is dribble the cards like this, if you can do, or I say do this one and they stick their finger in, and then offer them the card by pushing the card off for them and let them take it. So they've selected a card, however which way they've done it. Maybe they've cut like this. Maybe you've dribbled the cards, if you can do, like that, and they've selected the Queen of Hearts. Or you've done this and you've said stick your finger in and they've taken this one card and it's Queen of Hearts. So they turn it over, you explain to them that that's your favourite card and you'll prove it. Now this is great. Now don't forget, we also have the Queen of Hearts at the very top. And it doesn't matter how many times you cut the cards. If I cut the cards there and pick the remaining pack up, place it on top, we'll always have a queen. As long as you cut like here, never cut at the sides because it doesn't always work. But it does at the top. So if I cut there and cut them, it'll always be the Queen of Hearts. Look, if we do it again, cut there, it'll always be the Queen of Hearts, okay? Also, this is a good little tip. Sometimes it's good just to tap the deck down because that will drop all those smaller cards, so it'll work perfectly. So always give it a quick tap like that when you're ready to go. So they have selected a card. It is the Queen. You can say you're going to prove it that is their favourite card. You say, look, we'll place it back and we'll place the cards on the top. And you say, tap it 3 times. They tap it 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And look, it has jumped to the top. That's your first effect. They are going to be blown away by this. They also may be suspicious that there may be another Queen of Hearts. So you instantly say, look, I'll show you. There is only one Queen of Hearts. And you can either do it the flicking way, or you can do the dribbling way. And also, if you don't like it that way, you can also tip it up this way and do it with the thumb as well, okay? I always prefer to do it this way. That's my favourite way to do it, okay? Like that. And then you can do it again. So, it's jumped to the top. What you could do now is you always put the queen back of where it has always come from. So that queen has come from there. You can cut the pack again. Of course, this is a queen, all right? So look, we'll do it again, you say. We'll cut. Pick that queen, place it on top, and also out-jog it so it's out-jogged. So what that means is you're placing it halfway over the edge. And you pick that pack up, place it on the top, and you say, look, we'll push it in like this, and they can tap it 3 times one more time. 1, 2, 3. And of course, this is the queen. Again, they're going to be absolutely gobsmacked that it's happened once again. So now you say, look, we'll lose the queen inside of the pack. So you put the queen back, and then you mix the cards up by cutting them like this. Never shuffle. You can't shuffle the cards, remember. What's good about this, though, is every time you cut it, it's always in the same order. You always have a queen on the top and a normal at the bottom. See, it's all the same order. Also, I'll give you a little tip. When you're cutting the pack, to ensure that the Queen of Hearts is always on the top, is when I cut the deck, I actually just slightly do this. I push a few cards off with my fingers, and that will always ensure it's always a queen, because there is always a chance that when you do cut the cards, you cut it wrong, and this is actually the wrong card. So make sure when I cut the cards, I'm actually doing this, just like that, but very closely. So imagine this is the table, this is my hand. So when I cut the cards, I just do that every time. So that ensures that if I do this, I'm not actually cutting, but what I'm doing, I'm sort of just slightly dribbling the cards, and that will always ensure that there's always a queen at the top of every pile. And what's good about this is that you can still mix these up in any order, and it'll still, and also, again, always tap the deck. I always tap the deck after every phase, and then you can just show again that they're all normal. So, we've just made the card jump to the top when they've tapped it 3 times. You're then going to mix it in. Again, I will spread the cards. See, I'm dribbling the cards before. I don't just cut them. I dribble them a little bit to ensure that it's going to work. Put the pack down. That's a queen. We can then do this a few times to ensure that the card is completely mixed in the pile. Of course, it's not really being mixed, but they think it is. Of course, we still have a queen at the top. And then you say, look, I'll prove it's your favourite card. I'll cut it into 4 piles. So what you do is you dribble the cards off, dribble the cards off, dribble the cards off, and dribble the cards off, so you make 4 piles. Now what's great about this is, you say, look, I'll prove it's your favourite card, because you'll always find it. Look, point to the pile that you don't want. Now what's great about this, it doesn't matter which pile they point to, because the queens, they're all at the top, you see? So it's going to work regardless. So they point to, let's say, they want to get rid of this one. You say, okay, we'll get rid of it. Get rid of this one. Okay, fine, we'll get rid of it. Want to get rid of this one? Fine, we'll get rid of it. And you say, look, do you remember how you can still spread the cards as long as you don't shuffle them. So you say, do you know how we find your card? And they say, I don't remember. So remember the tapping. They tap it 3 times. 1, 2, 3, and of course, voila, it'll be at the top. That's your 3rd phase. They're going to go absolutely wild. Then you say, look, I'll take it 1 step further. You place the rest of the deck on the top. This is your queen. Again, you say, look, we'll mix the pack up, and you give it a quick tap. You give it a quick tap every now and again, and then mix the cards up like this. Remember, to do it like that, pushing them off. I see I'm pushing them off with this finger like this, like that. So I'll mix them up. And then what you're doing is, in a second, you're not going to spread them. Because if you spread them, it's not going to work, because you're going to have all the normal cards there as well. What you're actually doing is, when you're spreading the cards, you're actually doing your dribble. You're pushing them off like this. So that's what you're doing. But at the same time, you're spreading. So what's happening is that they are dropping in pairs. And don't come up too high. And they're dropping off in pairs. So you can do this and practice this. And then what happens is, they'll be all in pairs, you see, because this is a pair there, and there's a queen at the top. So it doesn't really matter where they touch. I wouldn't say pick a card, because they may do this, and then they may pick the wrong card. What I would do is I would spread the cards like this, by dribbling them, like that, and then say, I want you to go along with your finger, and whenever you feel like it, stop. So they go like this, back and forth, and then you say, whenever you want to stop, stop, and they stop. They say, bring your finger down, and they bring their finger down. You see, that's how you get away with it. Then you can move all these cards away, and push that card forward, and then move all these ones away. Say, keep your finger on the card. What's great about this is that will be the Queen of Hearts. What's great about this is that you know that obviously this one will be a normal one, and this one next to it will be a normal one, because it goes normal, queen, normal, queen, normal, queen. So you can say, look, if you'd have gone for that one, it would have been the nine of spades, that was right next to it. And if you'd have gone for this one, that would have been the jack of spades, and that was right next to it, but you went for this one. And of course, sure enough, they turn it over, and voila, it's the Queen of Hearts. Gather these cards up, and you can do this with your two fingers. Just gather them up like this. Gather those up like that. Okay? And now we're ready on to the last phase. You can place that queen back of where it went, placing this back on top of there. And then, now you don't have to finish with all the Queen of Hearts. You can finish right there, and that's the end of the trick, but it's entirely up to you. You say, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, how is it done? And you say, I'm going to show you. You say, look, you could have picked, and then show them one more time. It's always really good to show them that they're all normal a few times throughout the routine. You say, look, they're all different, look, right? And I'm going to show you, okay? In fact, you can even tap it 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And again, your Queen of Hearts will jump back to the top. So I'm going to show you how it's possible. Do you know what happens when you tap it 5 times? And all you need to do is take your queen, put it on the bottom, because that queen needs to be on the bottom. You know what happens when you tap it 5 times? And they go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You've got a few options. You can go, when you tap it 5 times, believe it or not, they all turn into the Queen of Hearts. So you've got a few options to do this. And all you're doing is, instead of doing it this way, all you're doing is you're doing it the other way around. So instead of doing it this way, okay, all you're doing is you're turning the deck around and doing it that way. You see, and they're all the queens. Of course, this one needs to be a queen as well. So you can do it in a few ways. Option 1, you can do this way. Just exactly the same way you do it when they do it with a finger. Number 2, you could do it this way, where you drop the cards like this. Or option number 3, what you can do is you can do the same thing. It's the same dribble that you did when you were doing it face down, you see? Or you've got that option, because if you remember, these are all dropping down in pairs, because look, you see, all the normal cards are there, but they're all dropping down in pairs. And that is short and long. And at the end, because obviously you can't do that because they're all different. Okay. Also, another little tip, you can sort of show them at the very beginning that they're all different by doing this. But you can't do it for very long, because if you do it for too long, they'll spot that there's actually loads of Queens of Hearts, look. But if you kind of do it fast, you say, I'm going to show you a trick of all these different cards. They might not notice that they're all queens, but that's just a little idea. You don't have to do that. So that is your short and long routine. Don't forget, if you do shuffle them up or drop them by accident, don't worry. Just go through making sure that it's normal queen, normal queen. If, for instance, we come across 2 queens and they shouldn't be 2 queens, just take that one out and carry on. And then you might come across where it's 2 normal ones. Take that normal one out and just say, look, oh, we can put a normal one there, and just make sure that it goes normal queen, or whatever your favorite card is. And do that all the way to the end, and you'll be absolutely fine. So there we have it. That is short and long, one of the greatest card tricks of all time. Now what I will say is, yes, it is, if you've never done card tricks before, it is going to be difficult. Do bear with it, do practice, go back, watch my performance so you can get all the patter correct, but do stay in there, keep sticking with it. If you are struggling, maybe get a friend to help you, maybe mum, dad, someone like this, but no, do stick with it and you will master it. It is such a great routine and you will blow people's minds with it. So have fun, don't get frustrated. Just make sure it goes normal queen all the way through, or whatever your favorite card is. It could be a different one, and have fun. Again, if you have any problems, any struggles, you got any questions, just hit me a message on Facebook. Just put in Tom Wright Magician into Facebook. Make sure you give it a like, and we'll go from there. So I hope you enjoyed it. And let me know how you get along. So let's get through to the last trick, the bonus trick, which does include water, and yeah, let's take a look. Okay, so this is your bonus trick. First of all, I do apologise to any parents. If there are any parents watching this, I do apologise because you may get wet. There's water involved, so I'm sorry. So anyway, okay, so this is the effect. You're going to show someone, demonstrate to someone, your friends and your family, that anti-gravity does exist everywhere, and it exists, I can't speak, and it exists in water. What you're going to do is you're going to have someone fill up a water bottle. I would use a bottle like this, a 500ml bottle. It could be a Coca-Cola bottle, a little Pepsi bottle, a water bottle, or this is a Rubicon spring water bottle. Any bottle like this will be great. And also I have it filled up to water about here. So they fill it up with water, and all you do is you get a playing card and you place a playing card on top of a card like this. Then if you want, you can have them sit down and you can turn this upside down over their head. Obviously practice, don't do this straight away because it may go horribly wrong. So watch very carefully. This is anti-gravity because if I turn that around, and there will be a little bit of water, if I really concentrate, I can just take, okay, watch. And this is the crazy bit, because I can actually take like a cocktail stick and it can just go all the way in. Watch this, watch. It actually floats all the way to the top. And watch, it's gonna go not long. 3, 2, 1, and all the water comes back out, and you can hand them this bottle and they can have a look at it. Okay, so you can have fun with this one. Let's see how you do it. Okay, so this is your bonus trick. Go get the package now. You should have a little clear bag. It'll have a playing card, a cocktail stick, and this gimmick. This is the gimmick that makes it all possible. So let's open up and let's see how you do it. Now, this is a great trick and you're gonna have a lot of fun with this. Any trick with water, especially making water float and is astonishing to your spectators. And you can do this over someone's head. Obviously practice before you do it, because it could go wrong and they could have a whole bottle of water on their head, and that could happen, and it has happened. So make sure you practice before you do anything. The best way to practice this is probably doing it over the kitchen sink, or over the bath or something like that, or any type of sink. So therefore, the water's gonna go straight down. So let's go. I'm rambling. Okay, so I'm going to show you first of all with a bottle that hasn't got any water in it. So we're going to use this. So what is happening is you're having your spectator, your friend, your family member, fill this up with water, and they're going to fill it up maybe just past halfway, so 3/4. Okay. Now what they don't know is you have a playing card, but you've also got your little gimmick, which is this, and you've got it behind that playing card, and you're just holding it with your thumb. So what you're doing, they hand you this back, and all you're doing is placing that cap on top of there. You see that? And you're just pushing it down nice and tight with your finger and the playing card like this. Now what happens is you're going to push it down quite tight, and all you're going to do is you're going to turn it upside down. You can go slowly, keeping this tight, and then what happens is the air bubble at the top actually keeps all the water in at the same time as the cap. I'm not exactly sure how it works, it just works. Okay, so you turn upside down, and all you're doing is just sliding that card off, and then what will happen is that cap will stay in position. Now, obviously not now because there's no water in it and the air bubble's not on the top, but it will stay there. And when you move it away, don't worry if there's a little bit of water. That's good. It's good if there's a little bit of water. That adds drama to the whole effect, and it looks like it could go wrong at any point, which it might. So let me show you water. Actually, it's actually a lot easier actually using water in the bowl than not using it. So let's do it for real. Okay, so we have the cap underneath the card. I have a bottle with the water. You place that on top, and you push it down like this, so it looks like that. It doesn't matter if it raises up a little bit, that's fine. When you turn it upside down, it will sort itself out. Hold it down tight, turn it upside down. Now, what will happen is you're going to slightly lift it just to check that it's, it is actually going to work. And yeah, perfect. And then you just slide that away, and if there is a little bit of water, that's good. You want it to drip a little bit because it's going to add tension to it. Now, because it's got a hole in the actual plastic disc, as you can see, you can easily now, if I go get my cocktail stick, I can easily place that underneath there, like this, and the cocktail stick will rise to the top. Now, what I'll say is hold it very carefully, because if I squeeze that bottle, that cap's going to fly off, and that is how you get rid of the water. Let me get my bucket. If I squeeze this bottle and sort of give it a shove, that water will come out. Okay? So, because sometimes if you squeeze, it might not come off like it is, as we just saw. But if you just give it one of these, that water will come straight out. Okay? So that is it. That is all there is to it. There's not much more to it than that. Have fun, practice. So go for it again. Have the person fill it up with water. While they're filling it up with water, you're getting your card ready, and you've got your little plastic disc behind it. You then place it on, and you can say, oh, would you mind sitting down? And as they're sitting down, you can then place it on top. Turn it upside down. You go, watch this. And you slowly take away the card, and you can do it over their head. Just be careful, practice, try, pull away the card. The water should stay there, right? And then you can get your little cocktail stick, place it in the hole very carefully. Try not to knock the plastic because the plastic might pop off. Put the cocktail stick will rise to the top. Then you can make out that, oh my God, it's gonna go, I haven't got much time. Grab your bucket and then go bang, the water will come out. And that's it, you can hand them the bottle and just walk away with the bucket. And that is it, so have fun, be careful, practice, and I am sorry if it goes wrong. There's water, as long as it's water, don't try anything. Also, don't try anything fizzy, does not work with fizz. So it won't work with lemonade, it will not work with Pepsi or Coke. It only works with water. Make sure it's water or there will be liquid everywhere. Do not try red wine. That is a stupid idea. Just water. So that's it, girls and guys. Congratulations, you have passed. You have passed Top Secret Level 1. Again, lastly, if you've got any questions, just give me a message on Facebook. Just put in Tom Wright Magician into Facebook and send me a message. Or you can send me a message on email, which is tom@tomwrightmagic.com. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed today. I hope you've enjoyed learning all the different bits of magic. And make sure you do practice. Don't give up. And let me know how you're getting along. Also, if you did like Top Secret Level 1, keep your eyes out because in the future there may be a Top Secret Level 2. All right, so all the best. Have fun practicing, and I'll see you all next time. Thank you.